Hey everybody, I'm the Doc Bob Lee for 107.5 WBLS. You're watching Open. It's a live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is the founder of Good News Corporation, and he joins us to highlight how he has fueled his passion for environmental and humanitarian work and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Paul Sladkus.
Thanks, Dr.
Paul,
Bob Lee. Hi,
nice
how
to
are
see
you?
you, Paul.
Great seeing you always.
So what are we working on? I see you got the colorful heart behind you. You're in the office right now taking care of business.
I am, and working hard at this outreach that we've been doing actually for 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
The International Day of Peace and Earth Day events, in which we have taken over Times Square on April 22nd, it's Earth Day, Earth and Water Day is what we call it. And then on September 21st, will be happening 2025, is the International Day of Peace.
Yeah.
And so that's been our passion. I'm 50 years in the television production business and multicultural marketing and advertising. So it all leads up to
Yeah.
doing good news and sharing the good in the world.
Yeah. Speaking of, well, good water and all those other things that you spoke about, there was I think there was something out the other day in the news about which boroughs had the worst water or who had the lead in their pipes.
Right.
I think it was Bronx and Queens who had the most lead in their pipes. So they urged everybody to run the water for a few minutes before they use it.
Yeah, that was. I just heard that the last couple of days. Another nonprofit came out and did a study in that regard about
Right.
lead pipes.
Yes. So talk more about the passion that you have for humanitarian and environmental work.
Well, I think the good news here is that along with me, is there are millions of people that are really looking at what would they call ESG by far. That's environmental social governance. That's the kind of the corporate term, sustainability, and it's become in the forefront of corporations, of conscious citizens on Mother Earth, based on our climatic conditions. So, if we talk about our desire to live a long time and not all be swimming here and there, we need to pay attention to environmental changes that are occurring.
Yeah. Do you think there will be a big change with the new president coming in?
Well, there appears to be. I mean, Mother Earth has a mind of herself. Actually, no matter what we kind of do, but it's that helpful to do things that don't make the Arctic dissolve, and these things can be recorded now. With new technologies to answer. We'll see what happens. Um, we have to pay attention. That's the bottom line. I mean, Earth is one point was all ice a few thousands of years ago. So we just need to have hope, confidence, and intelligence. We have more and more intelligence. We seem to want to get artificial intelligence now to
Yeah.
also use to deal with these kinds of things. But I think it still boils down to some of us human beings taking a daily reduce, reuse, recycle way of life.
Yeah. So we have to pay attention because people pay attention to people who participate.
Yes, yes, they do. Okay.
Andy King once said that. What inspired you to start the Good News Corporation?
Well, I've always actually my mother was a librarian here in New York, Temple Emmanuel on Fifth Avenue over here,
Yeah.
and she gave me the Reverend Norman Vincent Peale's book, The Power of
Oh,
Positive
yeah.
Thinking. And so I've, I guess, all my life been that kind of guy, the president of class character, musician, wanting to focus on the positive, accentuate the positive, minimize the negative, hang out with people that were doing the right thing, and then I guess went to school, got a master's in communications, and realized that media, people believe what they watch, they believe what they read. So why don't we focus on the good that's happening in the world? And I believe in that. And so I am making TV shows, starting at CBS and then PBS, and been doing it for a long time. And media is powerful. People believe what they hear, what they see. So I thought, let's focus on the good then.
Yeah. There was a young man who started WBLS and Inner City Broadcasting Corporation along with Percy Sutton. His name was Hal Jackson, and I remember sitting in the studio with him, and he used to tap on the mic all the time. He says, "You know what this is?" And me, being young, I said, "Yeah, it's a microphone." But later on, you learn that it's the power to persuade and move people in a certain direction, and everybody's fighting over this microphone,
And it's the
trying to
opinion
get the
of
upper hand on the narrative.
there you go. And it's the opinion. I think what I learned, and I wouldn't have understood it unless I went to that type of a school. It's the opinion of the management. It's my opinion on my Good News of
Yeah,
broadcast. It's the opinion of the New York Times of what they think. You need to be. I'm a believer in following your own heart, like
yeah.
the heart behind you, and because that's what you really see rightly, at least for yourself.
What do you think about social media? People believe the clips that they see in social media instead of reading the whole story or understanding the whole story that a journalist had put together.
Well, actually, I believe all media should have the Surgeon General's warning on it to begin with, that this is the opinion of the management. But it's so that social media. Actually, I think that social media. I think all media has a responsibility not to promote not nice things, not to promote kids jumping on the top of a subway car to the next car,
Yeah,
and some of these things. I really think they should lose their license. In the CBS old days, there was this Federal Communications Commission that you petitioned to get a license, and you literally could lose your license.
yeah,
There was some management oversight for the good of the people. I think social media needs that because they should not allow. I've done shows where people have unfortunately, killed themselves, and because of being called fat or called gay or called whatever it was, um, in social media. It's so easy. You're not next to the person. You're not there. You can just
yeah.
bombard them with sad news.
So you think social media needs to be controlled maybe by the Federal Communications Commission? Because sometimes it reminds you of the early days of radio or CB radio, where you got guys talking over the top of everybody. Hey, I don't care. And anything goes. You can say anything and do anything, and it's not really regulated or should it be regulated?
Well, I sort of feel that yes, I think it should be regulated. I guess that's a tough one. To say someone can't do certain things, but and who regulates it? It's not an easy scenario, and or there should be every half an hour. This could be dangerous for your life.
Yeah.
There needs to be some supervision, some outreach that the people who see those kinds of things put it into perspective.
Well, then we have you, Paul. You have the multimedia good news broadcast. Tell us about it.
Well, we do these events. We have a broadcast we started in 1998,
Yeah.
July 4th, called Good News Broadcast. I trademarked the happy face with arms and legs. And we are started on YouTube back in '98, and we have over 6,500 shows on there of people doing good, including Dr. Bob Lee, and who has also been in our Peace Day events. I'd like to make sure I mention that
Yeah.
uh, because you shared a piece of very, I'd say, serious importance with regard to 9/11. You might remember you had those young girls talking about um, uh, the effect of nine
Yeah.
11 on them, right, Bob? That
Yes.
show that you did,
Yes.
that
And
was
then,
one powerful commentary.
yeah, they just wanted to. Uh, they were talking about that they were afraid, if I can remember, and they were talking about that they wanted the bad people to stop doing what they were doing, and they were young kids. They were about what, 4, 5, 6 years old. They must be like maybe 35 right about now, close to 30. And they were saying, I want the bad people to stop doing what they're doing because I want to grow up to live to be somebody. And it was like very touching, and a lot of people cried,
Yes,
behind that. Yeah,
we put it right in our Peace Day shows
yeah,
because they're our future, and those kinds of fearful scenarios are damaging to our health, let's say, and our
yeah.
futures.
So that's still going on. People can, a lot of those pieces are archived in your programs, right? People can go and
Yeah,
check it out.
right.
What do
Yeah.
they have to do?
Well, you can go to the YouTube and search it, or you can go to goodnewsplanet.tv and search Bob Lee. Hopefully, it's still there. And and then we have our Peace Day shows that are on our pausetheworldforpeace.org. Um, but this is, I will also like to add, just because last week was in the Bronx and St. Mary's Park um, for an environmental outreach that the city of New York is doing with the New York Parks, Heather LeBeau, and Commissioner of the Parks, Ann Donahue, and the Conservancy, Nature Conservancy, and
Yeah,
city administration, wanting to get 30% of New York City with trees and canopy. There's so many people doing. I tell people I'm stressed out from the good news. Bob, your show is a good news show.
hmm,
You're
yeah.
going to have those young gentlemen that are going into schools with teaching young people how
Hmm.
to play chess and other things that you do every week. You're a good news broadcaster. Bottom line.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the reasons why they gave us permission and a plaque to put in our window to visit schools throughout the tri-state area. That was from the Board of Education back then. Now it's called the Department of Education. Uh, and I think school safety was a major part of it too. Because we didn't go there to talk about the violence or the bricks falling from the building, the construction. We went there to talk about the wonderful things that our children were doing and what they were learning and what they wanted to do when they graduated, things of that nature. Because if a youngster can tell you what they want to do when they graduate, 9 times out of 10, they would they would follow that dream. And they come back years later and say, hey, Bob, I remember you came to my school and we were talking about such, and remember? And they have a briefcase and a suit and tie and everything. I work down on Wall Street right now. I said I was going to become a Wall Street investor or whatever, and here I am. I'm doing it. And he was in elementary school or junior high school at the time. So I like the good news. So I'm following you.
Well, I'm following you. It's a the inspirational. You hang out with positive people, you're having a good time.
Yeah,
You're a believer in the world. If you want to go with all the downers, well, we know they're there,
yeah,
but the, I'm a believer that it's the bad apple in the big bushel,
yeah,
and but there's a lot of more apples in that bushel than that one bully,
yeah.
let's call him. And
Paul, when
but
did you start the tree planting thing at St. Mary's Park? And then you do it, I think you do it somewhere else also.
Well, no, no. So what? There's a whole group, 150 organizations, the city outreach, Mayor Adams and his administration. They passed some new laws requesting more trees in the city here. So that's been around. I think that she said 1 million trees.
Yeah,
That's and the commissioner Donahue and Heather LeBeau was talking, and all these groups, and David Banks at the Conservancy, they were all talking about what's going on now and how to continue going on. It was pouring out at the
yeah,
park. That was the original home of the summer stage.
yeah.
Uh, up there, that amphitheater over there, and that was the estate of the guy who Bronx, who's the Bronx is named after.
Yeah, that's right.
What a gorgeous, gorgeous. So this has been a Bronx week, and my dad's from the Grand Concourse. Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
a Bronxy.
yeah, yeah. All right, so what are you doing for the 2025 Earth and Peace Day? Any
Well,
plans yet? Are you working on it?
yeah, we have Times Square, Father Duffy Square, and we're hoping to have more of the area in Times Square to make it green. So our big pursuit right now is um, looking for donors, sponsored people that believe in the environmental concern and interest and want to promote that, and to take over Times Square and make it green forever, meaning put trees there, then have oversight because you need to take care of trees, care for the trees,
Hmm.
and our evergreens. And so when we do a 7-hour live worldwide TV broadcast on April 25th, and we could use volunteers and people in all walks of life and business and personally to help us make that happen. So that's our focus. And then the International Day of
Yeah.
Peace, September 21st, with
Well,
193 countries in the UN agreed to.
well, you got to come back again and do it. They're going to give me 30 seconds. Any last words? And within those last words, please tell us where we can reach you and follow you.
Okay, you can call me directly, 212-647-1212. You can go to paul.sladkus, SLADKUS #1 @gmail.com. And pausetheworldforpeace.org is our nonprofit go to Good News broadcast on YouTube or goodnewsplanet.tv. Bob, always a big honor to get a chance to be with you. Thank you.
We love you, Paul. Thank you so much, man.
Love you too, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Paul Sladkus, founder of Good News Corporation. And he always has a seat at the table, so we'll welcome him back. We'll take a quick break right here. I'll come back and give you some more. We're open. Here we go.